do music on.
Of course
We don't do music on Friday. Live. If that makes you laugh. Live from the LinkedIn metaverse. Hey, it's a very normal business pants Friday. Sorry. Joined as always by a scruffy guy wearing an X-Men t-shirt. Oh, and a woman
That's not
speaking
me.
into a bicycle wheel. I'm a scruffy guy wearing an Expos hat.
Yes. Well, not that hat today.
Not today.
Ari, the data queen, is suspiciously absent, but I called 913 a few hours ago, so her disappearance will eventually be taken care of, I guess. I don't know.
913, the lesser known cousin.
Let's just get to it. We've been talking too much this week. This is our Friday show. We cover the story of the week. We cover the assholiest of the week, the goodliest of the week, most irritatingliest of the week. Let's just get to it.
It's been
I realize
2 years.
it's without music for our Friday show. It's hard for me. I feel hard. It's hard talking into a vacuum.
Here you go.
Wait.
I don't want our normal music though. No, I don't want that music.
Oh.
Jesus.
I'm adding you to my man baby.
You can play this. Actually, no, I don't want that either. All right.
Oh my god.
There's a lot happening.
Let's get right to it. There we go. This is for all the non-serious. No, this is for the serious. Ready?
Yep.
I am.
Matt, you've already raised our credibility by 1,000%, by the way, today.
I just want to say, I did get called out as scruffy and not serious. So
because of your outfit.
Because of my outfit.
Because as far as I can see, the brain is the same, the body's the same, the mic's the same, the background's the same, everything's the same, but you changed your shirt. Is that what you did?
We tallied it up this morning. We spent probably over $1 million and thousands of hours of work to develop an analytics product, Sabermetrics for boards.
Blah, blah, blah.
But because I was wearing a t-shirt, I was told no one will listen to us.
Well,
so
look,
it doesn't matter how smart you are. So now, this is for the people who didn't listen before. Now you have to listen to me because I'm wearing glasses and a tie.
How about the
I don't like it.
How about
I'm
the
upset
thousands
about
of
this
hours
criticism.
we put just into putting this show together, the researching into proxy statements, all that stuff, but that's all. It's all the steering wheel. Okay, I'm gonna get off it. All right, let's go. Come on, story of the week. I don't really actually even care. Here we go. Don't take me seriously. You know, it's fine. Here we go. This one's. I'm trying to get through this quickly.
Failing already.
Elon Musk and Twitter. That's the first story of the week, obviously.
Oh, God.
Although I did like this headline. I like this headline out of CNBC.
A little closer to that wheel.
Elon Musk could try to run 3 major companies at once. The last known CEO who did it is now an international fugitive. I like that headline. CNBC.
Me too.
Like that's a 1-to-1 correlation.
Yeah, they make fun of our research and our analysis.
Honestly, people don't take us seriously.
Number 2. Meta spent a record $27 million on Zuckerberg security in 2021. That's the headline. This is for things like 24/7 bodyguard protection, which, you know, there's a lot of questions I could ask there about that 24/7 bodyguard protection.
But I'm not sure how this even rates as one of the stories of the week.
No, I know. I just
Yeah,
felt like
what?
I wanted to talk about it because I like the idea of 24/7 bodyguard protection. Because I'm thinking about things like, you know,
He also
happy time with his
has
wife.
I think an office with a bulletproof glass and a panic button.
Oh, so you're
if
just
I'm not
reading my
mistaken.
next bullet. You're just reading my next bullet point is what you're doing.
Oh no, because you'll hear this story again later.
Okay. You know what?
3
He
times.
also has an office with bullet-resistant glass and a panic button.
It's almost like we.
All right, I did a
planned
little
this.
math because I'm working on a new data point, and this is called we have CEO pay ratio, which is already boring by now because no one really knows how to interpret it, and I know the governance geeks think it's important, and it is, but can we come up with more than one data point every like 12 years? Can we do that?
No, we're single issue.
How about a security pay to your executives ratio to see who you give a shit about being alive or not? Okay, so let's just use the meta board.
Well, no.
No,
It would
no?
be how much they care about them. It's a fear indicator, isn't it?
What, he's changing the pronoun? What what are you disagreeing with here?
I'm disagreeing with. It's not how much we care about them being alive. It's how much they're afraid that they're
Well,
going
yeah,
to
the
die.
board,
Yeah,
because
yeah,
they
that's what I
allocate
like
this
about
money.
it.
Yeah, it's really the competition committee. Here we go. Let's do Meta. So Zuck gets 26.8 million. Sheryl Sandberg gets a lot too. She gets 11.3 million. That's roughly the 2-to-1. What are we calling this? I don't want you dead ratio.
Yeah, that's
We're
good.
afraid you're going to die
I'm
ratio.
afraid you're going to get whacked ratio.
2-to-1. That's not bad for Cheryl. That's a lot of money. A little tidbit
Is it?
here. Little tidbit. Cheryl actually travels more than Zuck. 2.3 million in travel private jet costs. 1.6 million for Zuck. Just saying.
Look, I just want to point out that
Yeah.
she's the one they trot out to give all the bad news, and she has to say constantly, "Don't shoot the messenger." Like she's the one in the line of fire. I don't know why Zuck's walled up in an island he bought for himself. Like who's infiltrating? Sheryl Sandberg's the one who's like, "Oh yeah, no, we're actually good for teens." Like she's got to say that in front of people.
I hear what you're saying, but still 11.3 million is probably higher than
You hear it
any other
more-
CEO in the world.
You hear what I'm saying more
Yeah.
because I'm wearing a tie.
That's true. That's right. By the way, this is all information from the Meta's 2022 proxy statement. I'm not.
No, we're
just
not
making
serious
this up.
though. We don't read
We're not serious.
proxies.
Here we go. Number 3, CEO David Wayner, 169,000. That's it. So that ratio there, I'm afraid if you die ratio, whatever we're calling it, 159-1. That's a lot.
Yeah, it's a
Right?
lot. No one cares about the CFO though.
But who we do care about, I don't know, I really understand that part of it. Who we do care about is Chief Product Officer Chris Cox. That's COX if you're keeping score at home.
Okay.
He gets $1.2 million. So that's not bad. That's a 22-to-1 ratio. So we're 22 times more scared. I don't know. I haven't figured out how to say this.
Do we think though a high ratio like David Werner at 159 to 1 does that mean that he just doesn't like leaving his house? It's just easier to protect him because he sleeps in a basement.
It's possible. Let's move on to Marn Levine.
I think it's Marnie.
Marnie Levine. She's the chief business officer.
Come on, get serious. No one protects that.
I don't even know what that. Does anyone even know what that means?
No, that's the most fungible position in a company.
Okay. She only gets 66,000. That is a ratio of 406 to 1. That's gotta hurt. It's gotta hurt. 66,000. What is that? That's nothing. Nobody cares.
Well, it sounds like nothing, but it also sounds like a lot.
Yeah, it does sound like a lot. And finally, just to put this all into perspective, Twitter CEO been in the news, of course, a lot this week. Parag Agrawal, the security spent on him 64,000, less than Chief Business Officer Marnie Levine at Meta. So
he's new. He doesn't need protecting yet.
Well, but that tells you something, right? That tells you something here about the Twitter board game of who's gonna hate Elon or not. Is that anyway? That's the second story. Third story is out of Amazon. I'm just pulling this story because I'm mocking it. Here's a headline: IMDb TV will be renamed Amazon Freevee. Like
Freevee, like free TV.
Yeah, exactly, like free TV.
Are they trying to imply that it's free? Is it free?
This is the best they can do. Thank you, Andy Jassy.
Wow.
Yeah.
They had a marketing team come up with that.
And finally, I mean, you can tell I'm picking these stories because obviously the story of the week is Musk and Twitter, so I'm just had to fill out my roster here. Finally, the fourth story of the week. Here's a story that the corporate governance ESG world fails to point out that we point out regularly. I think it's important. We're the only ones who talk about this. Shopify hires new chief of talent, right? As it overhauls pay amid an employee outcry and falling stock price. And who was the new chief of talent? It's a woman.
No.
Right. Tia Silas. And what was her last job? She was previously the chief diversity and inclusion officer at IBM. I'm just saying, I think there's something here that none of the fancy pants ESG experts cover, but I'm going to cover it. because I think it's important. Because
Hey,
this
Matt's
push
wearing a
to get
suit.
more,
We're fancy pants now.
Yeah,
this
we are.
push to get more women in leadership, which is an admirable push. This is what it's been getting us routinely: is women either head of human resources, head of diversity, head of legal. That's it. Like this is what we're
CFO
getting.
occasionally CFO.
Occasionally, but none of these roles, CFO included, that don't usually get they don't become CEOs. It's not part of the
No.
chain. Yeah.
No.
All right. Well, I'm just pointing it out.
Just
pointing
stop.
It out. So for you Morningstar analysts who are just like scrambling to think of something to write about this today. Come on, give it to your boss. All right, that's it.
I need
you
to take off my glasses for this vote. The answer is Musk.
Emma?
Yes.
Likewise, it is also Musk.
Okay. I'm gonna agree. I'm gonna
most boring answer.
I went
There's
through
nothing to be done.
I went through hundreds of stories that we pulled and tagged, and look, it's Musk trying to buy Twitter. All right, moving on. Assholiest of the week. Come on,
asshole. That is my serious voice. This week's asshole of the week, we're going to keep it simple. You have 3 choices, and they're basically all the same thing. Number 1, billionaires.
Yeah.
Here's some headlines. Here's some headlines to consider with your billionaires, okay?
Okay.
Headline number 1, Starbucks chief Howard Schultz talks of non-union staff benefits, which I
like it.
presume actually means Holocaust blankets for everyone if you're not in the union.
Yeah,
That's
not
the
everyone.
thing, right? Not everyone. But only non-unionized Jews got the Holocaust blankets. That's the way that worked, right? I'm pretty sure that's
uncomfortable. I'm getting uncomfortable, yeah.
Number 2 headline, Amazon CEO says workers are, quote, better off without a union, and the company's injury rate is, quote, misunderstood. I think, is misunderstood a euphemism for something that if they say misunderstood, they mean something else, right?
I guess it's like fake news. Is that what it means?
Yeah, it's just like fake news. Yeah.
It means we're running
away
from this
It's like a less politically charged way of saying this is fake news.
It's a way of saying, like, I don't like you pushing this fact. It's making me uncomfortable.
Why aren't you eating the lies we're feeding you?
Can't you see I'm wearing a tie? Your facts make me uncomfortable.
Hey, what happened to the glasses? Did Dwayne Reed call and want their glasses back? What happened?
No, Dwayne and Reed did not call and do not want their glasses
it's
back.
one man. His name is Dwayne Reed. He started.
Next up is Meta spent $27 million on Zuckerberg's security in 2021. I'm agreeing with Damien here. This is a very billionaire move because right now, Simply Safe actually has a 30% off discount that ends this month. It's $300 for your entire house and $30 a month with monitoring. I don't know what you're doing with the other $26.97 billion or $1 million, but it's really not that expensive. Another headline, the 25 wealthiest people in America, like Bill Gates and Michael Bloomberg, paid a lower tax rate than someone earning $45,000 a year, a massive new report shows. I don't know why we need a new report on this. This is literally the same report that comes out every single year. Every single tax season, it's the same report.
That says the same thing, right? Basically every year.
Every year. So they say the same thing. And then finally, heiress Abigail Disney says, quote, billionaires are miserable, unhappy people, and it's time for change. Quote, the billionaire bashing needs to happen. I don't know why we're being so polite.
I don't think we are. Are we being polite? I mean, I'm wearing a hat for shit's sake.
I mean, you look ridiculous.
Yeah.
No one
I only have 2
seriously.
degrees, by the way. So if I had a 3rd degree, maybe I would take the hat off. Wait, Matt, can I ask you a question?
You can, yeah.
Zuck, $27 million in security. I'm going to do some really complicated math. So if I hired 3 24/7 security guards with a really big gun, right? So that's 3 because I'm going to give them all 8-hour shifts. Let's say 4 because this is 7 days a week. I'll give them all like 8 hours, whatever. 4 to cover the whole week. 4 times 100,000. I'll give $100,000 a year. That's generous.
Not enough.
I'll give them $150,000 a year.
Okay.
Times 4.
You should give them $6.7 million a year because that's how much.
That's $600,000 for a round-the-clock big guy gun. What more do you need? I don't really get. What do you need other than a big guy gun? Okay.
Why don't you get a female ninja?
All right.
And
moving on.
Second of all, wrong. So number 1 option for asshole of the week is billionaires. Number 2, option for asshole of the week is man babies.
Am I a man?
Here's some headlines to consider with man babies. Republicans Jim Jordan, Lauren Boebert, and more cheer Elon Musk's attempt to buy Twitter, saying the billionaire will make Twitter great again.
Oh.
The GOP man babies are in action. A lot of GOP snowflakes really like this Elon Musk move. How about this headline? Women say food delivery drivers harassed them, say firms didn't help. And just for a point of reference here, 100% of food delivery service app CEOs are men, and 80% of drivers, non-employee drivers, are also men.
Which is kind of scary because they're probably like quasi out of work dudes living in their mom's basement. I mean, I'm sorry, I'm stereotyping. You can buzz me up anytime. Can I just ask you this? I want to derail your wonderful
thank God there's the buzzer.
But what kind of assholes don't just call the restaurant directly and get the food? Why would you go through a third-party app? What are you doing? Why are you getting involved in this economy that doesn't give people benefit? What are you doing? Just call the restaurant. What? I don't understand. What's happening?
In order to call the restaurant, you have to look up from your phone.
Here's news to everyone. Restaurants themselves can deliver. The actual restaurant. Or you can just walk.
Not anymore, baby.
You know what? You can leave your apartment, walk down there, and just pick up the food.
I'm a picker-upper.
Thank you,
sure.
Emma. Yeah. Go get the food.
New York City and Portland, Maine. That's our
okay.
Well,
go get your
here.
Food.
Here's another headline for man babies. Tim Cook hit out at the antitrust regulators trying to crack open Apple's App Store. Tim Cook being a big man baby about the fact that they control the App Store and everything on it.
I'm on his side on this one.
That's all right.
Have you seen Android's App Store? It's a mess. I gotta tell you, like, it's just like a viral petri dish mess of like. I kind of like the way Apple controls things. I don't know. I'm sorry.
Finally,
you know what? Don't buy an iPhone. How about that? You solved the crisis.
Crisis averted. Finally, Mexican truck drivers blocked northbound traffic at one of the busiest entry points in Texas for the second day in a row in protest of big man baby Governor Greg Abbott's border policies.
Getting political. I like this.
That's a lot of man babies in the news this week. So asshole of the week, man babies. And then our third asshole of the week is man baby billionaires.
Oh, I think I played the wrong sound effect.
Two assholes of the week. Here are your headlines. We'll do them fast because you know where this is going. Elon Musk sued over delay in disclosing Twitter stake. Elon Musk makes $43 billion unsolicited bid. Why a man baby? Because using comprehensive U.S. hedge fund activism data from 2003 to 2018, we find that activist hedge funds are 52% more likely to target firms with female CEOs compared to firms with male CEOs. Here's a way. Here's the way you stop activist investments. Put a woman as a CEO, and then you'll get an activist. Just have more men, and you won't. Here's another headline. Elon Musk has at least one friend on Twitter's board. Dorsey. That's a headline. We said that yesterday.
I read that article, by the way. That's not real analysis. I don't know what that is. That's not. I'm sorry. I don't care if you're wearing a suit. I don't care if you're wearing a suit. That's not actual analysis of anything.
I'm just saying the tie makes it legitimate. Elon Musk says he has a plan B if Twitter rejects offer.
Wait, whoa. I thought he wasn't playing the back and forth game. What are you talking about? He's a plan B?
No. The plan B is not to make another offer.
Oh,
it's to go to Mars or something else.
Oh,
I don't know.
Good thing he's not playing a game, though. Thank God.
There's no games being played.
He is the
Peter
game.
Thiel.
We established this.
That's true.
Here's another man baby billionaire. Peter Thiel calls Warren Buffett a sociopathic grandpa from Omaha taking aim at Bitcoin's quote enemies. We did a whole show on this.
Yeah, we did.
Dive into this.
But we were wearing a T-shirt, so don't take it seriously. Don't take
count.
the hours and hours of research.
That research wasn't real research because I wasn't wearing a tie.
Right.
And here is my favorite headline of the man baby billionaire week. And it's really what would have happened if Elon Musk gets Twitter. Oh no. Teen behind the popular Twitter account that tracks Elon Musk's private jet reacts to the billionaire's proposal to buy the company. The fact is, Elon Musk went out and said Twitter has a free speech problem And the first account he's going to shut down is the one that uses publicly available data to track his movements on his private jet.
Actually, Matt, this is the first reason I've heard why now I do want him to buy Twitter, because I want to see if you're right about that, because according to him, he wouldn't shut it down. He believes in free speech.
He tweeted in January,
yeah,
roughly when he starts thinking about accruing shares. He starts accruing shares in March, so it's he's ruminating because he thought for weeks about it.
No, I think he actually takes about 2 days to think about things. So
he tweeted in January that this is a security risk and he needs to stop. He's tried to bribe this 15-year-old kid a dozen times.
Yeah, well, up your security costs at Tesla. Get more money like Zuck does. What are you doing?
So those are your 3 options. You can choose billionaires as your
Emma,
asshole
you go
of the week,
first.
Man babies as your asshole of the week, or billionaire man babies.
Emma, you go first.
All right. I feel as though man baby billionaires have gotten enough attention from the general media, so I think I'm gonna skip right over them. And then I think I'm going with man babies.
What?
I think I'm going with straight man babies. Yeah, I do. Well,
What do you mean straight man babies?
Not gay man babies.
No, so Tim Cook can leave.
Okay.
No,
Tim.
The Greg Abbott thing is getting me. The support of Elon Musk's Twitter purchase by the Republicans is getting me. They're just all tangential assholes to the big asshole. So I think that's what's grinding my gears about it.
Matt, I know you're trolling us with these 3 categories because,
of
course, when you squint, it's all the same. I'm just gonna disagree with Emma, and I'm gonna call you an absolute moron. I'm gonna just say,
I'm not wearing a tie, so I could be.
You are a moron, but whatever I say is going to be the truth because I'm wearing.
You're hiding behind a wagon wheel. I gotta go with the mashup. It's got to be man baby billionaires, because why not? I like when all the adjectives are hanging out in the same phrase. So that's mine.
You're all wrong because Abigail Disney is the winner. Billionaires are the big asshole of this week. Would be my vote.
Well, you don't get the actually. It's not how this game works. Actually,
no,
you voted yourself.
Actually, you're the tiebreaker, so I'll give you that one. All right, moving on. Emma. Oh no, let's do. Let's do Good Leads of the Week. I know Ari the Data Queen's not here, but she actually sent me her choices. I'm going to read them for you. Here we go. This is a inside joke layered on an inside joke. So if you have never listened to our show, you're going to hate this joke. Here we go. Goodliest stories of the week. First, there's Google's first week back in the office included marching bands, mayor visits, and traffic jams. And Ari's comment was, "I love marching bands."
That's a good one.
Okay, number 2. Amazon's latest feel-good climate campaign enlists Alexa to plant trees. Ari says, "I love this. Who doesn't love planting trees?"
Ari, Alexa's not real, right? Come on.
This sounds like Ari on speed.
Number 3. No, that's Ari. Number 3. PG&E agrees to pay $55 million in penalties and costs over 2 wildfires. Ari says, "I think this is great. They should pay a fine. That's a lot of money."
No, she just hit me on Slack and she said she also likes fires. They're good for s'mores.
Oh.
And finally, her 4th Good Lead Story of the Week. Starbucks is weighing better benefits for employees, but says they could exclude union workers. Ari says, "I know it's not for everyone, but it's great that so many workers will have better benefits." So those are the 4 Good Lead Stories. Go ahead. Vote. Emma, go ahead. Pick one.
Okay, so Ari's given me some difficult choices to make.
The way Ari rolls. This is the way she always rolls.
I'm gonna the next time that Ari's on the show, I'm gonna need to hear her thoughts about these because something's feeling a little off to me, if you catch my drift. But I think I'm gonna go with the PG&E agreeing to pay the $55 million over wildfires, because out of those 4 things, that is the most objectively good thing that happened. I think if I'm really parsing it through, I'm going, okay, the amount of good that actually came out of this stupid bad headline, I think that's it.
Well, you don't like a delicious traffic jam on your English muffin in the morning?
Yeah.
What do you think, Matt? What's your
Here's
vote?
some stats.
Yeah.
Ari. Because I'm wearing a suit and tie, I get numbers more than you do, apparently. 24,000 buildings destroyed, 97 civilians and 6 firefighters killed. and at least
97.
80 non-fatal injuries just for the campfire alone. A $55 million penalty over that wildfire. That's what we're doing. $55 million. That's it.
It's a lot of money, though, according to
The
Ari.
reason why that number is so low is because the company had to declare bankruptcy because of the liabilities from the fires themselves. The real answer here is Google's first week back in office included marching bands. I love marching bands is Ari's greatest analysis she's ever done. I'm going with that.
Agreed.
I'm just going to agree with you so we can move forward. Okay, the guiltiest story of the week, Google's first week back included marching bands. Here we go. Emma, take it away. Irritatingest of the week. See how we're trying to get through this show quickly? I like it. It's a team effort. Come on.
All right. So, irritatingest of the week, I'll try to move quickly per Damien's instructions.
No.
Number one, this story is a little bit outside of our zeitgeist, but was so irritating to me that I felt the need to include it anyway. Boris Johnson fined for attending lockdown-breaking party to celebrate his birthday. A couple of things. One, we don't know how much the fine is. I looked all over Kingdom Come. We don't really know how much the fine is, which is indicative of the fact that it's probably going to be relatively low.
Okay.
Two, Boris Johnson is the first ever sitting prime minister to be found guilty of breaking the law. The first one ever. And thirdly, he gets to keep being prime minister, which is the first and foremost irritating thing.
Yeah.
Exactly. How dare he? And all of it is irritating in every single way.
So you
Second
think
headline.
you think he should stop being prime minister for attending a lockdown breaking party on his birthday?
He did make a law for the country that you had to be on lockdown and then had a
He
birthday
made the
party
law,
for himself.
broke the law.
Yeah.
And was the first person to ever break any law as a sitting prime minister.
Yes,
Well,
I love it.
How dare you?
found guilty.
Okay.
Thank you,
I like
Damon.
it. Number one. Number two.
All right, and number two. Meta spent a record $27 million on Mark Zuckerberg's security
Okay, do we
and
all
private
have to
jet
mention
travel.
the same stupid story?
I
Okay, go
didn't.
ahead.
It
Okay.
is weird that all three of us got to that story on
It
our
is
own.
both irritating asshole and story of the week.
True.
I don't think this one needs an explanation,
No.
but by Damien's reaction, I think that a nice little side piece of irritation is the fact that we all
Side
picked
piece.
it, which makes Damien even more mad at it. So,
Yes. We've irritated Damien by picking
That's
it.
true.
absolutely. I think that this is like a meta way of me winning. I guess there's no winning the Friday show.
Yeah, that's
but
a
I'm
good
sort
point.
of winning it.
Okay.
All right, number 3. Starbucks is advertising for an in-house lawyer with experience in strike contingency planning amid increased unionization efforts.
Sounds gross, yeah.
Ooh.
So Starbucks basically posted a job opening for a professional union buster, which is cool.
Yeah, Emma, I'm glad you brought this one up because it kind of aligns with one of my stories, which is that are you going to be able to find a woman who's a professional union buster? Because it doesn't really line up with how corporations use women, because they usually put them in the kind of the ESG roles. So how are they going to find a woman who also hates? And they put them in the human resources roles. How are you going to find a woman who's a lawyer and hates their worker? Like, how are you going to do this?
No, first of all, it's not going to be a woman, but you are
Wait,
missing
what?
the forest. No,
Big
there's no
news
way.
here. Big news here.
You're missing the forest for the trees, which is the amazing linguistic turn of phrase of strike contingency planning.
Yeah, it's amazing.
That's the
Strike
thing.
contingency.
That should
planning.
actually
Tell me why. Yeah, why?
That's not irritating.
Yeah.
That's fantastic.
Sounds
I
like-
think we should rename everything we don't like in a way that makes it sound more palatable to everyone.
Strike contingency planning.
I think
That sounds
using
very
the
Why?
word
good.
contingency there is key. Contingency is the word that hinges on.
Why
I
do
like
we
that
call
one.
it
Yeah.
security spending for Mark Zuckerberg and not death contingency?
Death contingency planning.
That sounds way more like
Yeah.
27 million for death contingency. That's not enough. Spend more.
Or what about decapitation contingency planning?
Whoa, we're getting specific and gory
Yeah.
with it. Nice.
Yeah, like there's all sorts of contingency planning
Yeah.
we could be doing.
All right. And finally, number 4, Amazon's latest feel-good climate campaign
Wait.
lists Alexa
That's
to plant
that's right.
trees.
That's
What,
good,
Emma? What
Leah.
did you do today? You just opened the document and just stole our headline?
I couldn't possibly tell you how we ended
Okay,
up with such
yeah.
similar headlines.
Yeah.
So every time an Alexa user tells Alexa to plant a tree, so you're like, Alexa, plant a tree. Amazon will donate $1 to the nonprofit One Tree Planted. This is obviously Greenwash City. They have, like, shut up, Amazon. I don't know what to tell you. They have an
Yeah.
F rating from climate accountability groups because they don't account for emissions in their supply chain. And I'm pretty sure their supply chain is like their whole thing.
Yeah.
So they
Wait.
suck. It's
They must-
irritating me.
you probably don't know the answer to this, but they must cap that for a user, right? Couldn't you set up a bot in your house or like something that just keeps repeating that phrase? Like
That's what
maybe we all
I'm.
should be doing that.
That was what I was thinking. I'm like,
Yeah.
I want a Alexa for Christmas, and I'm just gonna sit there and go, Alexa, plant a tree. Alexa, plant a tree. What
Yeah,
if,
right. So we have to time it. So we have to create some system where it times it right so that you have to say Alexa first, then she starts
Mhm.
listening, then you say plant a tree, then you pause and you say it again, right? It's like on an 8-second loop or something.
Yeah, and which is
Do
all
the
great,
math
but it's
here. Yeah,
also
do the
just
math.
gonna end up as a tax write-off. That's all it is at the end of the day, anyway.
Actually, I have to say the most irritating part of that story is not only that Alexa isn't real and that all of our loopholes are probably not going to work, but that the story author, no offense, Veronica Irwin, I'm sure you're very nice, but the last sentence in her story is asking Alexa to donate $1 for a seedling isn't quite as impactful as, say, using public transport or riding an e-bike. Do we have to shame?
Oh,
Do we have
yeah.
to shame us? Does it have to be always shame?
Yeah, it started shaming like a large corporation, which was correct, but it ended shaming the
Shaming
individual, which
me.
is less correct.
I
Yeah,
want
so wait.
I want
Yeah.
to crap on Amazon, not myself.
correct.
Okay, look. I
I'm
think
wearing a
it's time for
tie. I don't want to crap on myself.
it's time for a little bit of populist math time. Populist math time. Here we go.
Whoa.
Based on the amount of seconds per day, roughly, I don't know, 80,000 ish, and an 8-second loop. We do this every day, all year long. Each Alexa user could force Amazon to donate $3.9 million. So all it would take was basically everyone in America. We could bankrupt this company, right? I mean, if everyone just does this on a loop, right? Am I wrong here?
Yes, you're wrong because there's only
Why?
about 40. There's 40 million Alexa users times about 4 million each. You're
Wait, how many
actually
million?
40 million.
Okay.
So there's 40 million. So you want to do it. So it's $4 million a year is how much you can donate, or a day?
On an 8-second loop. Maybe we can reduce that 8-second loop. I don't know. I just started
just
thinking
saying.
about this.
We're talking about 160 million. Really is what you're going to donate. They've done this.
No,
math.
no, no. 100, no, your math is way off. 4 million times 40 million. That's the
Yes.
math. Yeah, it's not 160 million. I mean, your suit is. What's going on here? What did you go to? Like a Ivy Junior college? What's going on here? 4 million times 40 million. Someone help me out.
Is 160 million.
No, 4 million times 40 million. Not 4 times 40
yes.
million.
I'm sorry. I did 4 times 40 million. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
That's a lot of money. Come on.
It's a lot of money, but it's not
Thank you.
that much money. Come on.
Wait,
For Amazon?
Emma, come on, Emma. You have a calculator. Help me out here.
Say the numbers again. What'd you say?
4 million times 40 million. Come on, someone help me. That's a lot of zeros, right?
Yeah, it is a lot
That's
of
14
zeros.
zeros.
Yes.
That's above a trillion.
Okay,
they're worth a
yeah.
trillion.
Whoa. Okay, my calculator gave me 1.6 E plus 14. So
Yeah, that's 14. I don't even know what that is, Matt. That's more money than there is in the universe. No?
Probably not the universe.
Yeah.
No.
probably not.
Oh, come
the
on.
universe.
Come on.
Elon
I
Musk
just
is
figured out a way
lining
to
up
bankrupt
financing.
Andy Jassy, and you're not excited?
We're not so convinced that you did find out a way to bankrupt.
Yeah, I
Andy
don't think
Jassy
that
is the
works.
issue.
All right, there
All
we go.
right,
4
pick
irritating
your-
stories of the week, including my
Yeah.
horrible populist math time that completely anchored the show into a morass of mud and grit and
Oh wait,
wonky
want some
t-shirts. Yeah,
live
go ahead.
news? We
Yeah.
have some live news breaking right this instant.
Twitter.
Rebuffed Elon Musk's takeover bid with a so-called poison pill that would flood the market with new
Oh.
shares if he buys 15% of its stock.
Okay, so what I wish we could get, what we won't get because the public corporation world of disclosure sucks my butt, is that was a board vote, and we
Yes, it
did this
was.
just yesterday. We speculated how the board would vote, so I would love to see how they voted on this. Right? I mean, right?
Yeah.
Am I wrong?
sort
This
of
is a
think it
board
was.
vote.
I sort of think it was unanimous. Weirdly,
You
I
do?
don't know
Okay.
why. Yeah, I just
Well,
sort
we'll
of
never
do.
know.
I feel
We'll
like
never
if
know.
they're.
That's the sad part.
Yeah. All right.
I'm
All right.
Sorry
disappointed.
for that interruption. Moving
No, it's
on.
good interruption. Good interruption. Why are you disappointed with that?
What are your irritatingest stories?
Before we get to that, why are you disappointed by that
Oh, Matt's
poison pill?
disappointed.
Yeah, because a poison pill isn't specific to Elon Musk. It means that somebody else won't buy Twitter either
No,
unless
that's
they
not absolutely not
remove
what
the
it
poison
means.
pill, right?
No, because if it's a board vote, they don't have to enact a poison pill for every takeover bid. So you can still
it's
you
not
could
s-
still take it over, Matt.
Poison pills are generally not specific to a single takeover bid, are
Right,
they?
but they're not automatically triggered. This is a board vote that triggers using
Oh, as in the poison pill is the board has the right to flood the market.
exactly.
Got it. So
Yeah.
that would be very specific. It's still I was in it. I wanted now I'm worried about Elon Musk's plan B. Now I'm worried.
Okay. Yeah. As you should be. All right.
Irritatingest of the week.
Yeah, go ahead.
Actually, I want to point out that I do feel like the tie is making me stupider, not smarter.
Well, it's because it's on pretty tight, right?
I mean, I look smarter, but I say stupider
Yeah,
things.
It's debatable.
Let's hear some stupid things right now.
Yeah.
Who's your
Creepy.
The irritatingest of the week. So Boris Johnson is like it's not irritating. It feels illegal and terrible.
It is illegal and
That's
terrible.
not irritating to you?
Meta spending 27 million on Mark Zuckerberg actually sounds reasonable when you call it death contingency. So suddenly I like
Yeah.
it more.
Or tickled to death the contingency. Yeah.
Oh.
Starbucks advertising using strike contingency planning as their language sounds
That's very
genius.
irritating.
That's
Yeah,
not
very
irritating to me. That sounds genius. Amazon using Alexa to plant trees is all that I have left. Although that said, I want more tree plantings. And I don't know how to gel that. So I'm going to go with Amazon because Alexa's not real. And and my guess is there are all sorts of caps and reasons why this won't actually happen.
Totally.
So I'm going to go with that.
I like that you picked that story, Emma, because it points out. Remember, Amazon. It was Amazon that won the March Sadness tournament, right? Because of their
they did
incredibly robust and strong greenwashing game. I mean, they pump out more of this nonsense than any company
They really
in
do.
America, right? Yeah, I mean, they're so good at this. And again, this is actual research. This isn't like fake put on your tie Matt Mascardi research.
This legitimizes every bit of research I've ever done.
I'm going to say the one that Starbucks stood out to me. I just don't. I don't. It just irritates.
You're allowed to
me.
be wrong, but no.
Anytime a headline has a phrase in the middle of it with a single quote thing, in this case, strike contingency planning, it just starts to get my blood boiling. I don't know.
So really, the grammar of the headline irritates you.
Yeah, well, you got me, Matt, because like there's something about like the way they named it. The way you pointed that out to me actually started to get under my skin. Like you're right, like it's like the way that they're playing a game here, and it just started to bug me.
Fantastic.
Yeah,
I think they should call it Holocaust distribution planning. Holocaust blanket distribution planning. That's what they should have gone with.
So Emma, break the tie. What's the most irritating story of the week?
I'm gonna go Starbucks.
Oh,
I'm sorry.
You wrong simultaneously.
Okay, let's try to wrap up the show.
Who won the week?
Who won the week? I'm gonna go. I'll go first. Yeah, no.
All right, you go first. Go.
I pick a boring one just to irritate Emma. I want to troll Emma a little bit. I'm gonna say Apple. I'm gonna say Apple won the week. And this is the reason. This is the reason why Apple won the week. For not being Elon Musk, for not being Meta, for not being Amazon, for not being Howard Schultz and Starbucks. They just stay boring over there, and they won the week because of that. They're just there. That's it. You don't have to analyze my choice. That's just my choice.
Emma, do you want to go next? Why don't you go next?
Yeah, Matt's suit is the winner of the week. It legitimizes everything we've ever done.
Is it a full suit? Are you wearing the pants? There's no way you're wearing
I am naked from the waist down.
Right, I was going to say, that's not
Obviously,
a suit, Emma.
Damien.
It's not a suit.
Come on.
Okay.
I was torn myself between Damien's Expos hat and Abigail Disney, but I went Abigail Disney.
Yeah, because the Expos are dead. They're no more. It's a relic.
I know
Dinosaur.
that did well an obsolete thing and a very
Yeah.
solete thing. Less obs.
Abigail, please call us. Come on.
Actually, I'm gonna make a request right here,
Yeah.
which we should do not on air. But Emma, reach out however we can to Abigail Disney. We got to find an email address.
Yes.
We need to get her on the interview thing.
Anyone that's
reaching out to her.
anti-billionaire as Abigail Disney is welcome here anytime.
And I can help you with this project, Emma. We actually should be reaching out to her at least once a week. We should keep, you always hear these
We
stories
should just
of
DM her on Twitter every
yeah,
day.
and not to like bug her or troll her, but you always do hear these stories of like, people like they write David Letterman like 5 times a week for 6 years, and he finally responds. We should just like stay on her.
And his lawyers finally respond with a cease and desist.
Yeah, you're not his wife. All right. Let's end the show on predictions. I have another boring one. Mine is that the next target of the next fun CEO scandal is going to be Andy Jassy. I think we're ready for an Andy Jassy scandal. That's all I'm thinking. I don't know why I
could
thought
be
that.
into that.
Amazon CEO Andy Jassy. Anyone else?
My prediction already came not true.
Yeah.
Okay, good. I love it. What is it?
I said Twitter's board was going to say yes to Elon Musk's offer and put it to the shareholders for a vote.
Matt, this
instead
is why
they did not that.
This is why I'm excited when we eventually release our influence score product, because as we know, a board, whereas I know what you're thinking. Say you have like 9 board members. It's just a straight democracy. We know it's more complicated than that.
Not
we
a democracy,
know that certain directors have a hell of a lot of influence. I'm looking at you, Jack Dorsey. And so I know that whereas maybe these people come in, they would have agreed with you, Matt, but there's ways of like leaning on people and influencing people. And what are you going to be, the person who doesn't go along with the CEO and the chair and the founder? Like, so it's a bit more complicated. So anyway, yeah.
That does not sound like real analysis though, because you're wearing a sweatshirt.
Yeah, who are we to come up with scores? What are we doing? That's a real thing. We shouldn't be doing real things.
No, adults do that. Go back to your corner.
Emma, you got a prediction?
I do. My prediction is that I think that Elon's plan B, now that he has been rebuffed by Twitter, his plan B is going to be making his firstborn child with Grimes the CEO of Tesla, his second-born child with Grimes the CEO of SpaceX, and then he will chain himself indefinitely to Twitter's headquarters until they get annoyed and give up and finally just sell him the company.
Well, Twitter's headquarters.
Once again, Emma proving that she is the best at this game.
She does the best prediction. Although she is overlooking the fact that Twitter's headquarters is slated to be a homeless shelter soon.
Yeah, all the better.
Okay, well we know that's not real. Yeah, we know nothing Elon says is
I read that
real.
on Twitter by someone who wears the suit.
He also referred to the SEC as bastards in an interview like this week, and made the analogy that the way they treated him when he was fake tweeting about Tesla going private was akin to them holding a gun to his baby's head. So I'm just saying, this is the guy we're dealing with. No, I'm not.
Well,
I'm not
quite
kidding.
a quote, even for him.
Not kidding. I know I'm wearing a hat. But I'm not kidding. Yeah.
If Emma's correct, his baby very soon is going to be the CEO of SpaceX and will require $28 million per year for.
What's Kimball going to think about? What's Kimball going to think about all
Kimball's
these
getting passed
over?
Are you kidding me? Kimball's on a like riding a horse somewhere in Brooklyn.
I will give credit to Elon in this one regard, is that the best show on TV is Succession, which is actually a ESG corporate governance show. If anyone's ever watched it,
most people just don't know that.
It's all about board battles. It's all about ownership battles. It's all about succession planning
you just
battles.
Made it less appealing to people.
Yeah.
No, it's fantastic. It's a beautiful show. But I will say, Elon Musk, I mean, he comes closest to real life Succession here in general. Like all his corporate governance, ESG shenanigans. It's very entertaining, and that's all I have to say. I'm done.
That was a lovely show, and I just want to say, for the record, we have reached out to some of those governance nerds and the OG of governance, and we've asked them to join us on our serious show where we look at serious numbers and say serious things. And we've been rebuffed. We have.
That's not true. We had Emily Chu from Morgan Stanley. Who else?
We've had some incredibly smart, fancy experts, but I've also reached out to some other experts who have totally ignored us because of our attire. So now I'm going to reach back out to you because I've just legitimized everything. Come back next week for more Business Pants from Free Float Media. That was Emma Lurking and Damian Rollis. I'm Matt Moscardi. We are serious. Goodbye.